My very first wine experiences were road trips right here in Pennsylvania, just sipping our way around, experiencing new things. At the time, winemaking on the east coast of the United States was kind of viewed as a novelty, so we just moved on and checked out other parts of the world. Things have changed. Wine regions that didn't register a decade ago are now worth checking out. In fact, I've been hearing quite a bit about Virginia. It's becoming quite the wine destination. So maybe it's time to take one of those good old-fashioned road trips again. Thomas Jefferson was a pretty serious wine lover, and he dreamt of making Virginia a world-class producer of wines. It took almost 200 years, but the revolution is now in full effect. There are 5 key wine regions and maybe about 240 vineyards in the state. Every year, 1 million visitors come to the Old Dominion to get a taste. We'll be spending 3 days in the central Virginia region, just west of Charlottesville. At the base of the Blue Ridge Mountains, we'll find a slower pace and just about everything needed for an amazing wine vacation. Our base is in the quiet town of Waynesboro at the Iris Inn, an award-winning bed and breakfast founded by Dave and Heidi Lanford. The inn has a main lodge, several high-end cottages, and 6 cabins that overlook the treetops. That's going to be perfect for taking in the Shenandoah countryside.
We were both traveling corporate folks, and our mornings in the beginning of the week were to get up, get ready, and go to the airport. Dave and I had an epiphany. Well, maybe we don't want to be road warriors all of our lives. And so it was that started us thinking, what is plan B for us?
It was during the holiday season one year that Heidi and Dave realized just how many people they had hosted in their own house. And that's when they came up with the idea for a bed and breakfast.
After doing a corporate job and having that much company, we both should have felt exhausted, like we wanted to be left alone, but we didn't. We really were rejuvenated and energized by having people around us.
Within driving distance of the Iris, there are dozens of wineries, places to dine, countless outdoor activities, scenic views, and historic sites. The cities of Stanton and Charlottesville are nearby if you're in the mood for something a little more metropolitan. Tonight, we'll opt for something simple. The nightlife in Waynesboro is a little bit more subtle. We've got a long first day ahead of us tomorrow, and the Iris is the perfect place to call it a night. Just yesterday, we arrived in central Virginia, and today we're ready for our first full day out in the countryside. Everyone at the Iris, including Katie, she's the official mascot, want to make sure that you have what you need to start your day off just right. A wholesome breakfast made with local ingredients is perfect. Our bellies are full and we're ready for the day. I'm pretty excited about our plans today. They revolve around 2 things:
Wines and equines. Let's kick off the day in a grand way. We're going to see a polo match at King Family Vineyards. They do these every Sunday in the summer. You've got to catch one. They're pretty awesome.
These grounds got their start as a way for owner David King to play polo with his friends. He's the one with the number 4 on his jersey. The winery didn't come till later.
Now, it's easy to forget that this is a vineyard here, but since 1996, David and Ellen King have been making award-winning wines. The 28 acres of vineyards just happen to make a great place for picnics, music events, and polo too.
Seeing a real live polo match, that was pretty cool. But hold on to your horses because we're not quite done yet.
Well, watching horses is one thing, but if you'd rather be on one yourself, Rebels Run in Afton can take you on a trail ride up Afton Mountain, and guess what? There's a winery at the end.
Well, my farm is 3 years old. Rebels Run at Afton Mountain, and I'm living my dream. and I give trail rides to Afton Mountain Vineyard, and I also give trail rides up the mountain, Afton Mountain to the Blue Ridge Parkway. I lived in Northern California. This area, Afton, Virginia, in Nelson County in particular, rivals Northern California like no other.
At the end of the trail, we find Afton Mountain Vineyards. Elizabeth and Tony Smith own this farm, and they cultivate 24 breathtaking acres with 15 varieties of grapes. Their pride and joy is a Cabernet Sauvignon made from 35-year-old vines.
We've been named by Wine Spectator and any number of other travel magazines as a wonderful wine tourism destination. Some of the best wine in Virginia and in our Monticello AVA, I think, is very little distribution. If you really want the good stuff, you need to come see us. And then you have these wonderful experiences of being able to visit the winery and meet the people. You're not buying this off the shelf in the grocery store because more than likely a lot of it is not available. So it's the whole experience. It's not just the wine. It's coming to visit and seeing where it all happens and tasting the wonderful things that you wouldn't otherwise be able to have access to.
Well, you should never drink and drive, but my ride is pretty sure-footed, and we want to get back to the inn early tonight so that we can do a private tasting with Dave.
Thank you so much. And when did you start doing these tastings?
We've done tastings the whole time we've been here. So we've been doing them now for about 7 years, and people really like it. It's an opportunity for us to spend time with our guests and for them to meet new friends.
And also to familiarize people who are from out of town with Virginia wines.
Oh yes, yes. That's we only have 28 wineries within 30 minutes of the inn here, so it's something that a lot of people like to do.
We do a little small tasting in the great room in the evening, and we get a feel for what type of wines they like. Because with 28 vineyards here and only a weekend, the important part is go to a vineyard that has the best wine of the type of wine that that particular person likes.
Tonight, we tasted a delicious red blend and a Chardonnay that absolutely hit the spot on a hot summer day like this.
It seems like something just be perfect to sit like right out there on that patio and
That's the idea.
chill this up nice and
Yes,
just
yes.
sit there with your friends and drink a whole bottle
It can be done.
or two.
Yes. Yes.
With all that trotting around that we did today, it might be time for us to take a break. We're going back to our own luxury stables. Our cabins are sleek, ultra-modern, and beautifully designed. You don't want for anything here. Even with so much to do in Central Virginia, these cabins make it very tempting to just sit and while away the hours. But alas, eventually one has to eat. The Central Virginia region is not just about wine. They also make beer and cider here, too. For tonight's dinner plans, we decided to check out one of the local brew pubs. And with that, a very full day here in Central Virginia comes to a beautiful end. We're beginning our third day in Central Virginia wine country, and today we're going gourmet. Good morning. We're at the Greenwood Gourmet Grocery in Crozet. And Heidi was telling me if you're going to put together a picnic lunch to take with you somewhere, this is the place to do it. The owners of the Greenwood Grocery, David and Nina, have thoughtfully stocked this place with goodies from all over the state. That includes high-quality gourmet food and an extensive collection of local wines and beers. At the deli counter, you can get gourmet wraps and sandwiches. I'm going for the egg salad with bacon on it. And if you're in the market for some antiques, they sell them here too. Simple, fresh, local, and delicious. A little brunch gets us ready for another day of drinking wine. We're starting this day just miles from our home base. Veritas Winery rests quietly in a ring of blue ridges. Andrew and Patricia Hodson founded this in 1999, and their 3 children, including winemaker Emily, make about 11 different wines here.
We're true to our roots, and I think one thing that you guys are probably picking up on or perceiving is that we've all planted these grapes. Like, we put them in the ground. We're not first generation, but yeah, we're true to our roots. We planted these things, and we're just so involved in our industry and so devoted to our industry, really. And I think we really are doing something special with Viognier in Virginia. It's not only is competing in the world market, but I think is one of the more interesting Viogniers that's being made in the world today. So I think that caught on really fast. I've been to a lot of international festivals and everybody keeps coming over and tasting our Viognier and like, have you tried the Viognier from Virginia? We're starting to feed that machine and we're starting to, have personalities, we're starting to have regions, we're starting to have specific wines that we're getting known for, and we're very accessible, and Virginia is phenomenally beautiful.
Their tasting room is just as impressive. Their wines are excellent, and the cheese does please.
I could sit here all day just drinking wine, eating cheese, and admiring the view. But we still have half a day left, so we should probably go drink wine in another beautiful location.
Our last stop is slightly further away from the Central Virginia region and closer to Charlottesville. Barbersville Vineyards is where the modern wine industry began in this state. In 1976, Italian winemaker Gianni Zonin and his wife Silvana bought 150 acres and converted it into a winery. They rebuilt the entire grounds and turned it into a high-end hospitality destination. The wines here are made in an old-world Northern Italian style. Their most prestigious bottling is a Bordeaux-style blend called Octagon. Palladio is located on-site and offers high-end gastronomy to pair perfectly with your wine. Visiting the winery that essentially started the modern industry for Virginia was a befitting end to our trip. But before we head back home for good, we've got one last night at the Iris and a little bit of time to reflect on just how much we've done. A love for wine compels me to explore the world in search of beautiful sights, great wine, and great people. Who knew that this area has all of that and it's just a road trip away? We've slowed down, saddled up, hit the road, hit a few bottles, and rediscovered our rights to freedom and peace. And that was just in 3 days. There's probably enough here in Central Virginia to fill a week or more, and quite a few glasses too.
I'd say Thomas Jefferson's dream of making Virginia a wine destination is alive and well. The pursuit of happiness is about making places where good people can come together and celebrate life in their own special way. Virginia offers plenty of opportunities for that to happen. That magic is what wine living is all about. Thanks for joining me, and thanks to all of our hosts for giving us a taste of Virginia.